Welcome to Full Count Rhythm Baseball on the Full Count Broadcast Network. Presented by Full Count Ministries and Chick-fil-A of Rivergate. Now let's head into the ballpark for tonight's game.
Good evening, Ohio Valley League fans of the Full Count Rhythm and the Fulton Railroaders for tonight's Game 1 of the championship round. Hosted by the Full Count Rhythm here at Drakes Creek number 3. Will Cox, the commissioner, standing by down to your right, lower right there, making sure that these coaches and umpires don't get into a fist fight before the game. I'm just kidding. There's no animosity going on here before this ball game. Second year in a row that the Fulton Railroaders came through and made it to the finals. Last year got into a 3-game series with the Henderson Flash and lost in the final game after winning Game 2 and sending it back to Henderson. Logan Haslam pitched an 8-inning shutout baseball, and the Henderson Flash won the 2024 OVL championship 3-0 in that final game to get their first championship. The Fulton Railroaders, they have two. They won the very first championship back in 2011, then followed it up with a championship round in 2012, but lost in the second year. Came back and won in 2013. Then got in as runner-ups in 2024. So 2 times the champs, 2 times the runners-up. Full Count, of course, has been runner-up in their first year of existence in 2021. A 2-0 loss to the DuBois County Bombers. But came back and defeated the Bombers 2-0 in 2022. And then defeated the Henderson Flash in 2023, 2-0. This is Tim Reese. I'm joined by my lovely bride, Susan Reese. She'll be pressing the buttons on the computer and handling our commercials and the score bug tonight. And, of course, we have our regular cast of characters up here in the press box. Ava Dorn back on the scoreboard. Tim Ferguson, our public address announcer, and Ken Stegall, our official scorer, as umpires and coaches are through with their meeting. So we'll have the invocation and the national anthem coming up. So we won't be able to get to our Chick-fil-A of Rivergate starting lineups until after the national anthem. Got a little bit of a late start here. Wanted to wait for the folks to join in on the Full Count Broadcast Network on YouTube and Twitter. Do want to say hello to those that are joining us on Facebook and have chimed in. Dolores Harrell, a big Roaders fan, is listening in. Catherine Wallum, also rooting for the Roaders. And I know Eddie Crittenden, he's over there on YouTube checking in. He is not here in person. And I want to say hello to Paula Sims, super fan, as it is prayer time.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, this beautiful day. We thank you for the game of baseball, this game that we love so much. Lord, we thank you that you've given us the ability to be here tonight to celebrate this season with the championship game. And we pray that you watch over this seat, these feeds, that you protect all the players and the coaches and the fans, and that you help us to honor you with everything that we do. Lord, we love you, we thank you, and we praise you. And it's in the name of Jesus that we pray. Amen.
Feeling tight, stiff, and not quite yourself? Then it might be time to go see the professionals at Absolute Wellness. Located at 101 Tennessee Way, Suite 100 here in Hendersonville, Absolute Wellness can get you back on track with their numerous services like chiropractic care, massage, acupuncture, spinal decompression. Call Absolute Wellness at 615-264-8515 today to get in on some great offers. That's Absolute Wellness. Your road to absolute wellness starts here. We all think about our home's yards, gutters, floors, and so much more. When was the last time you thought about your sprinkler system? That's where Music City Fire Sprinkler steps in. It may shock you that in-home sprinkler systems are discreet and affordable. Let the experts at Music City Fire Sprinkler tell you for themselves. Give them a call at 615-826-7450 or check them out on the web at mcfs.us. That's Music City Fire Sprinkler, proud sponsor of the Full Count Rhythm.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
And Tim Ferguson says,
Play ball.
let's play ball here in the championship round. Game one of the best of three here at Full Count. The first place team in the Ohio Valley League won 25 games, lost 12 in the regular season.
Our starting defensive line.
The Fulton Railroaders, they were 18-18 after the regular season. Won the play-in game against the Henderson Flash, last year's winner, and then a tough three-game series with the Paducah Chiefs. Lost game one at Paducah, then had to come back and won a very, very entertaining game up at Fulton. They were leading 4-1 going into the final inning against the Madisonville Miners. And I believe it was Noah Burning that hit a 3-run home run to tie it up in the top of the ninth. Then in the bottom of the ninth, Fulton Railroaders got the game winner and won 5-4. That was in the Madisonville play-in game. That's what that was. Then they won in game one at Fulton. Can't remember the score of that game. Let's see. I know there's a way I can find it out. It's right here on Game Changer. That was a 10-3 win over the Paducah Chiefs. Lost 6-2 at Paducah. And then in a 12-inning ball game last night, called by my buddy Eddie Crittenden. Had 130 people at the end of the game watching that game on the Roaders Facebook page. Appreciate Eddie bringing that his first road game. And thankfully he had enough juice on that iPad, and I know he learned a lesson last night. You don't go up to a road game without having some power. And he'll learn his lesson. He's young in the broadcasting business. He doesn't have 600 plus under his belt like yours truly, but that's okay. He's got a real job. I'm retired. 14-12, the Fulton Railroaders outlasted the number 2 team in the league, the Paducah Chiefs, and a day off yesterday, and now they are here to take on the Full Count Rhythm. Let's get to the Toyota. That's my next job. This is the Chick-fil-A of Rivergate starting lineups. Now for the Roaders, with an overall record of 21-19, coached by J.D. Willis. He's assisted by Jake Vitale and Charlie Furbett Jr. Thomas Kuhn, the shortstop, will lead off. Jacob Lott playing right field, bats second. Trevor Sossman bats third. He's the DH. And we'll get to the rest of the lineup here as they come to the plate to face Tate Riggs, a right-hander heading to Columbia State. From Nolensville, Tennessee, the first pitch delivered is grounded to the right side. Elijah Stockton has that one go off of the edge of his glove. Took his eyes off that. That'll be an E4 that allows Kewen to reach. Kewen has played in 6 games already for the Roaders. He has 3 hits in 4 of those 6 games. Total of 14 hits in his 6 games played so far. And the first batter reaches now. Jacob Lott, an all OVL performer, stands in. He fouls it off to the left side. In comes Jake Merrick in foul territory. And he makes the catch for 1 pitch, 1 out on Lott. So that's a big help for the Rhythm. So 1 out and a runner at first base. That brings up the DH, Trevor Sossman. Been with the team all year long. Played first base, been a DH as well. Played in 30 games for the Rotors. Riggs looking over that back right shoulder, delivers a pitch on the inside corner for a called strike. Got underway right at 7:05. Game time temperature 89 degrees. Feels like 97 here in Hendersonville. Game time temperature brought to you by Stitches by Cindy. That's CYNDI. Embroidery. Another ground ball. Stockton get an opportunity over to McCarron for one and on to first base for a 4-6-3. Do that. Double play. Just what the doctor ordered for the Rhythm to get him out of the inning. No runs, no hits, one error, and nobody was left on base as Stockton makes amends on the chopper by Trevor Sauceman. And Devin McCarron delivers a strike over to Blake Carter at first base. We'll take a break, come back and try to get this thing set up for you as we go to the bottom of the first. You're listening to the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Escape to a taste of the tropics with Frosted Luau, Hendersonville's favorite soft serve ice cream truck. Indulge in our creamy delights with options for everyone, including dairy-free and vegan treats. Planning a corporate event or a birthday bash? Let Frosted Luau cater to your sweet cravings. Visit frostedluau.com, follow us on Instagram at Frosted Luau, or call 615-422-6133 to book your luau today. Frosted Luau, where every cup is a vacation.
Think about something for a moment. Every single business, from the smallest neighborhood bakery to the biggest multinational corporation, is someone's dream come true. The byproduct of planning and determination and hard work. If you own a business, you already know that. So you'll also understand that fire and security protection isn't just about protecting property. It's about safeguarding dreams. At Corson, that's what we've specialized in since 1946. Corson Fire and Security. Corson.com.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Elijah Stockton, John Paul Head, and Devin McCarron to face Xander Smith in the bottom of the first inning. Xander Smith, a 6'5", 225-pound right-hander, sophomore out of Georgetown College, and Stockton attempts to bunt the first pitch that Smith delivers, and the attempt is not fruitful. Stockton could not pull the bat back on a low pitch there. Takes ball one. Xander Smith from Paducah, Kentucky. It's his 7th appearance of the year. It's his second start. The big 6'5" right-hander delivers fastball up high. He's 1-0 record. 12 and a third innings, giving up 19 hits, 17 runs. 13 of those were earned, has walked 7, struck out 5, and has bruised 4 opponents. Delivers a couple high to Stockton and a 3-ball, 1-strike count to the Kentucky Wesleyan Panther, playing second base tonight. Smith's 3-1 is swung on and fouled at the plate. And well, the Full Count Ministries, Full Count. I noticed yesterday that it's the first broadcast that I've listened from first pitch to final pitch of Eddie Crittenden, and did a great job. Tremendous service for a whole bunch of people that wanted to watch some OVL baseball, and looked like a changeup swung on and missed by Stockton, and he is the first out of the bottom of the first. Eddie Crittenden said it's a full count, but he never said it was a Full Count Ministries full count. That's okay, Eddie. I know you were saying it in your head. Now John Paul Head. It has the first pitch come right by his neck for ball one. John Paul, the Cub Stokes Award winner for the best offensive player in the OVL this year out of UAB. He takes a strike on the outside corner. Led the league in most every offensive statistical category, including the Triple Crown, batting average, home runs, and RBIs. Now looking at a 2-ball, 1-strike count, hitting .455 now, playing in his 38th game. He and Jake Merrick have the distinction of playing in the most games this year. I'm going to ask down at first base, and we'll introduce you to our first base umpire. That's C.J. Davis, and he says no, he did not go. Our home plate umpire who asked was Dave Upright, and down at third base, Andy Thomason. 3-ball, 1-strike count to the rising sophomore, and now he draws his 38th walk of the year. Fulton Railroaders have a walk machine themselves. That's third baseman A.J. Armstrong. Armstrong has 37 walks, so JP has just taken the lead if you're going to count regular season and playoff games. Now Devin McCarron likes to swing at that first pitch, does, and fouls it off to the right side. That's a AAA autoglass foul ball. Devin McCarron heading to Mercer University. He's from Smyrna, Tennessee, went to Stewart's Creek High School. He's a Creeker. Hitting .343. He's got 3 home runs, 12 RBIs. Throw over to first. John Paul with his dozen stolen bases gets back in time. He and Charlie Bozeman lead the club in that category. Charlie has not been caught this year, though. 12 for 12. John Paul does not go, and the breaking pitch nibbles at the outside corner, and McCarron now down in the count 0-2. Playing in his 18th game of the year. He's got 24 hits, including 4 doubles, 3 home runs. 0-2. Drilled out to right center field. Over is Jacob Lott, and he's going to make the catch in front of the United Machine and Tool sign. His throw gets into the first baseman in the middle of the diamond. That's now 2 outs. Let's set the defense for the Rotors. Ellis Hurd out in left field. Jaden Perez in center. Jacob Lott in right. A.J. Armstrong's at third. Thomas Kewen is the shortstop. Matt Reinhardt over at second. Chris Henson at first. Caleb Warren behind the plate and on the mound. 6'5" right-hander Xander Smith. That's Xander with a Z. And Jake Merrick lines one down that third base line. That's a fair ball. John Paul rounds second. He's heading to third. Merrick heading down to second base. And that is a dudette double off the bat of Jake Merrick as he extends his hitting streak to 5 games now. And runners at second and third with 2 outs. Jake Merrick swinging at the first pitch, delivers his 7th double of the year. Came in hitting .367. Pam Roach's Mimi is here along with Pappy out of Rockwood, Tennessee. That's near Harriman. Now runners at second and third, and Trace Simmons stands in. He's the rhythm catcher. On deck is Charlie Bozeman. Simmons sees a pitch. Nice backhand there by Caleb Warren to keep John Paul ahead at third base. That was a run for sure. Caleb Warren just saved a wild pitch out of the hand of Xander Smith. Simmons hitting .308, playing in his 31st game. 5 doubles, a triple, 3 home runs. Takes a fastball up high, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Simmons with 23 RBIs on the season. Looking to get the rhythm on top here early. Special guest Lucy Reese showed up here in the press box. Off-speed pitch misses down. The count goes to 3 balls and no strikes. It's just her and Daddy this weekend. My son Wilson, and there's a sweet Lulu with her rhythm shirt on. Her mommy and brother are down in Florida visiting friends. 3-0 is on the outside corner. It whispers at the outside corner. 3-0 turns into a 3-1. Eddie had 130 watching on Facebook. We're going to try to beat that number here tonight on the Full Count Broadcast Network. Got 94 on YouTube and almost 24 on Facebook. 3-1 is drilled out to left field. Diving, not making the play. Ellis Hurt, it'll roll to the wall. 2 runs will score, and Trace Simmons, he's going to head to third. The throw cut off. Simmons head first dive with a 2-run triple. And the Framework Athletics first runs of the ball game scored by John Paul Head and Jake Merrick on Simmons' 2nd triple of the year. Back-to-back extra base hits for Full Count as Simmons splits the gap between left and center. Now Charlie Bozeman at the plate. Sanford. Yeah, Sanford University. Let's say, are they the Bulldogs? I think they're the Bulldogs. I think they're Boo Dogs, aren't they, Ken? All right. From Knoxville's Farragut High School. And he lines one. That's going to get into left field and an RBI single for Bozeman. And all this happening with 2 outs as the Fulton Railroaders were doing that to the Paducah Chiefs yesterday as well. Came back from a 6-run deficit in that game to win 14-12. But tonight it is a 1-out walk to John Paul Head, a 2-out double by Jake Merrick, and a 2-out 2-run triple by Trace Simmons. Back-to-back hits brought to you by Old Hickory Bats. And then a single by Charlie Bozeman that drives in Simmons. And a ground ball right to A.J. Armstrong. He'll go to second for the Force as Blake Carter swings at the first pitch. Grounds into the fielder's choice, but the Rhythm put 3 runs on the board, 3 hits, no errors, and 1 runner was left on base. And after 1, full count with the 3-0 lead in Game 1 of the Championship Series. We'll take a break and be right back on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Don't strike out at your next party. Order the food that will get your crowd cheering. Chick-fil-A of Rivergate. We have many catering options available, from our Chick-fil-A nugget trays to our original Chick-fil-A sandwiches to our chocolate chunk cookies and fudge brownies. We have something for everyone. Order online at chickfil-a.com or call the store at 615-851-4007.
If you didn't know, the Full Count Rhythm is part of the organization called Full Count Ministries. Full Count's mission is to give every baseball player the opportunity to hear the gospel, respond to the gospel, and grow in the relationship with Jesus. With Full Count, you could lead by discipling the next generation by using our resources, or you could go on international mission trips. For more of what we do, check out our website at fullcountministries.com or our pages on Instagram and Facebook.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Full Count takes a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. Tate Riggs back out on the mound. Let's get the defense set for the Full Count Rhythm. Charlie Bozeman in left, Nolan Sargent in center, John Paul Head in right. Jake Merrick at third, Devin McCarron at shortstop, Elijah Stockton at second base, Blake Carter at first. And behind the plate is Trace Simmons catching Tate Riggs out for his second inning of work. Just now trying to get to the Facebook comments. Vicky Maloney, super fan, has checked in, says go Rhythm. Dolores Harrell, she's a Rotor fan and a frequent poster, and I know she is glad to be able to watch the ball game on the Full Count Broadcast Network. Riley Gore rooting for the Rhythm. Ground ball down the third base line. It's foul off the bat of Ellis Hurt. Ellis Hurt is in his 3rd straight championship round. Ellis played for the Henderson Flash the last 2 years as Riggs' breaking pitch lands upstairs. Full Count Rhythm, of course, 2 years ago in the Ohio Valley League, defeated the Henderson Flash. There's a foul ball off to the right side, a AAA autoglass foul ball. Rhythm defeated the Flash 2-0, and Hurt was on that squad. Last year he was on the Flash that defeated these Rotors. Check swing on the 1-2, and he goes down on strikes for a Safeway strikeout for out number 1 here in the second. Tate Riggs picks up his first strikeout. And this year he's a late add on to the Rotors club and is in his 3rd straight championship game. Lost 2 years ago, won last year, and the Rhythm hoping to put another loss on him as Chris Henson stands in. Takes a ball outside the Southwest Tennessee Saluki. Chris Henson. He's from Florence, y'all. That's Florence, Kentucky. That's a broken back, ground ball to third. Jake Merritt gloves, throws on the run, and Henson is retired, and he won't be able to use that twig again. Had 2 outs here in the second. 3 other Rotors were also involved in that championship series last year. Head coach J.D. Willis, he was a right-hander. I believe he's a right-hander on the Henderson Flash that won the championship. But Jake Vitale, who's coach this year, as Jaden Perez stands in, takes a called strike. Jaden Vitale and Charlie Furbett Jr., the general manager and also one of the coaches now for the Rotors, as Perez grounds over to second base. Elijah Stockton stays down. Gloves and throws to Blake Carter for out number 3, a 1-2-3 inning for Tate Riggs. I'll finish the story. Charlie Furbett, Jake Vitale, players last year for the Fulton Railroaders. And then Hayden Choate for the Full Count Rhythm was on the Henderson Flash last year that won the game. So there are 5 people that are here at this ball game that were involved in the championship game last year. We'll come back in the bottom of the second, see if I can give you some more intel about the Ohio Valley League. You're listening to the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Feeling tight, stiff, and not quite yourself? Then it might be time to go see the professionals at Absolute Wellness. Located at 101 Tennessee Way, Suite 100 here in Hendersonville, Absolute Wellness can get you back on track with their numerous services like chiropractic care, massage, acupuncture, spinal decompression. Call Absolute Wellness at 615-264-8515 today to get in on some great offers. That's Absolute Wellness. Your road to Absolute Wellness starts here.
Compliant with code. If you're a facility manager or building owner, you've heard the term plenty of times. At Corson Fire and Security, we work to keep buildings compliant with the most demanding code of all, our own. We've been protecting people and property since before most of today's codes were even written. And what we've learned along the way makes us the best choice to partner with for the future. Corson Fire and Security, celebrating 70 years. Learn more at corson.com.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Nolan Sargent, Parker Staborski, and Elijah Stockton to face Xander Smith here in the bottom of the second. 3-run lead for full count. We got alphabetically the top 2 teams in the Ohio Valley League. Full Count and Fulton. As Sargent looks at an off-speed pitch in there for a called strike. Fans still coming into Drakes Creek Park. Smoke down the right field first base line, just foul. Diving attempt by Henson, but C.J. Davis throws the arms up right away. I think that's Brady Davis of All-State Pioneer that's heading down to the right field corner to pick up that foul ball. He's an excitable boy from Clarksville, Tennessee. Clarksville High School 0-2 pitch to Sargent. Line right at the second baseman, Matt Reinhardt, who makes the catch for out number 1 here in the bottom of the second. Sargent heading to Cleveland State after 1 year at Belmont.
Now batting number 2
Came in
Saborski.
playing his 27th game this year for Full Count. Now, Parker Staborski is the DH tonight. All 4 outfielders in the ball game. Only have 2 position players on the bench tonight. Nate Webb and Jonathan Stewart as Staborski looks at a called strike. He's a Catawba Indian. Breaking pitch misses outside. Playing game number 25, hitting .247, 18 hits, including a couple doubles, a triple, a home run. 17 runs batted in, gets on base at a .415 clip. It's that one well out to center field, but Jaden Perez playing deep has to come in and over makes the catch for out number 2. Jaden Perez, one of the Vol State Pioneers that I got to know this past spring. He and third baseman A.J. Armstrong, part of my full count discipleship group over at Vol State. Head coach Jim McGuire as Elijah Stockton swings at the first pitch, fouls it off the screen, struck out in the first. Saw Jaden's dad, Roger, is here, up from Miami. He's been here for a week. He and Ozzie, who's the father of J.C. Menendez, another Vol State Pioneer. Jaden and J.C. lived together during the school season. They're from Miami, and their family's been friends for years and years, and they were up moving into a new house. 1-1 is a line down the left field line. If it's fair, it's trouble, but Stockton sees that it is curling foul, and it does. Count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bluebird Barbecue, is that a Blackbeard? Blackbird. Is that what it is, Ken? I think it's Blackbird Barbecue. Hadn't been here much. As the 1-2 pitch. That is grounded to the right side as Chris Hansen was playing right on the first base line. That is a very odd positioning. That ball might have been right, and I didn't even hit the right button again. We got 4 buttons in tonight, folks. All right. Sorry, Ava. There was my first error. Made a mistake. Broadcaster error. Yard card being called right here. John Paul Head. Do we have anybody else? Ava, you going to wait? Ken Stiegel's calling the yard card. We'll have to tell you about how the yard card can. And that ball is drilled out to left center field. Jaden Perez back and makes the catch right in front of the frosted luau sign, right next to the batter's eye out there in left center field. He gave it a ride. It went about 360 feet. Jaden Perez with a gold star defensive play there to rob John Paul Head of extra bases and retire the side in the bottom of the second inning. Put a star on that one. And Kent Stiegel loses his yard card, but it was well struck. He gave it a ride. That's right. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on. We are through 2. We're scheduled for 9. And we will be back for the top of the third after this short break. You're listening and watching the Full Count Broadcast Network.
If you didn't know, the Full Count Rhythm is part of the organization called Full Count Ministries. Full Count's mission is to give every baseball player the opportunity to hear the gospel, respond to the gospel, and grow in the relationship with Jesus. With Full Count, you could lead by discipling the next generation by using our resources, or you could go on international mission trips. For more of what we do, check out our website at fullcountministries.com or our pages on Instagram and Facebook.
Safeware is there when response is critical, assisting in the classroom as you shape the future of America, helping you build roadways and infrastructure for tomorrow. With protective solutions, innovative technology, and leading technical services, Safeware works tirelessly to provide our nation's workforce with confidence in their safety. Before, during, and after, Safeware is there.
Tim Reese, Susan Reese, back on the Full Count Broadcast Network, bringing you the championship round game 1 here at Full Count headquarters at Drakes Creek number 3. Caleb Warren, A.J. Armstrong, and Matt Reinhart to face Tate Riggs here in the top of the third. Warren takes a called strike. And he's down in the count 0-2. He's the catcher tonight. I believe he caught the early part of the final game up at Paducah. Pops that one up and out of play on the back toward field number 4. That's a AAA autoglass foul ball. Warren is from Westminster College. Leesville, South Carolina is where his calls home. 6', 205-pounder. And he swings and misses for a Safeware strikeout to lead off the third. Second inning in a row that Tate Riggs has struck out the leadoff batter. Now A.J. Armstrong, I think I saw his dad and his Paul are here. Paul wearing the big Panama Jack hat. Looks like Jack, his dad, has got the video camera out, also known as a cell phone, as A.J. Walk Armstrong takes ball 2. Anakin Jack, 6'1", 225-pound, rising sophomore at Vol State. He's from Woodbury, Tennessee, Cannon County High School. 2 sports star. 2-1 count. Son of Jack and Sharon Armstrong, big brother to Kaylee. Paul and Nana from Woodbury, Tennessee. Played in 36 games last year for Ball State. Hits a chopper back to Riggs, who throws to first to retire Armstrong for out number 2. A great young man. 3 Vol State Pioneers on this squad. A.J. Armstrong, Jaden Perez, and Brady Davis, a right-hander who did a great job the other night up at Paducah to keep the Chiefs from taking charge in that ball game. Now Matt Reinhardt, his dad's a regular watcher on Fulton's Facebook page. Pops that one up to the right side. His counterpart, Elijah Stockton, will make the one-handed catch, and a 1-2-3 inning for the second straight inning for Tate Riggs is now 9 up, 9 down. As
There's no runners left on base.
zeros on the score sheet for the Rotors as we go to the bottom of the third. 3-0 is the score. We'll be right back.
Corson Fire and Security first opened for business in 1946. From the very beginning, we understood something important. We're not just protecting buildings. We're protecting the dreams that built them. We're protecting the lives unfolding inside them. Fire extinguishers, sprinkler systems, and security products are the tools of our trade, but people are the inspiration behind it. For 7 decades, we've never forgotten that. Corson Fire and Security. Corson.com.
We all think about our home's yards, gutters, floors, and so much more. When was the last time you thought about your sprinkler system? That's where Music City Fire Sprinkler steps in. It may shock you that in-home sprinkler systems are discreet and affordable. Let the experts at Music City Fire Sprinkler tell you for themselves. Give them a call at 615-826-7450 or check them out on the web at mcfs.us. That's Music City Fire Sprinkler, proud sponsor of the Full Count Rhythm.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
3, 4, and 5 due up for the Rhythm here in the bottom of the third. Xander Smith had a rocky bottom of the first, gave up 3 runs on 3 hits, including a walk to John Paul Head. Two RBI triple by Trace Simmons and an RBI single by Charlie Bozeman. McCarron flew out to right field his first time as the first offering from Smith sails high over McCarron's head. Devin, 6 foot, 205 pounds. Played his first year at Arkansas State Mid-South in West Memphis, Arkansas, originally out of high school. Had committed to Vol State. Coaching change there. It's AAA autoglass foul ball. Off to the right side. Count goes to 2 balls and a strike. Coaching change, and he decided actually to stop playing baseball and sat out for 2 years before going to Arkansas State Mid-South. After that, he went a year to Chattanooga State and had a all-conference season. He hit 13 home runs, 70 RBIs, hit 368 for the Chattanooga State Tigers, and that's gotten him a scholarship to Mercer to be a Mercer Bear. 3-1 pitch, and misses inside for ball 4 and a lead-off walk. Oh, I didn't see it. Did Doug? Okay, so Doug Dorn called yard card. Is he on YouTube doing that? Okay. Oh, he's calling yard for Jake Merrick right here. Okay. I was going to say, he usually calls early. All right, folks, you can play the yard card. If you are calling yard card for a Rhythm player, can't work for a Rotor, fan, but if you call yard card and your player hits a home run in that at bat, we do something different, Eddie. Other than we don't give out beer here. We don't serve beer here. We give out Chick-fil-A meal cards here by our man Todd Hundley. You win a Chick-fil-A meal card if you call the yard card, and if Todd Hundley, the owner of Chick-fil-A Rivergate, if he calls the yard card, then everybody participating in the yard card game gets a meal card. Todd is here in attendance. 2-0 pitch lands low and in. Merrick with the double right down the third base line as A.J. Armstrong now hugging the line, talking to head coach Josh Carmen, who's coaching third base tonight. Got John Smithson, the director of ministry, in uniform tonight. Merrick squares around the bunt, pulls the bat back, and that's a 4-pitch walk. Doug Dorn retains his yard card, and the first two have reached here in the bottom of the third. That is now 3 walks in the game by Xander Smith. Now Trace Simmons. He gets hits in bunches. Had a 4-hit game at Madisonville this year. He's had a couple of 3-hit games, 9 multiple hit games on the season for Trace. Takes a called strike on the outside corner. John Paul Head leads the Ohio Valley League in that category, 18 in the regular season. Multiple hit games, had 9 3-hit games, 2 4-hit games. And Simmons backs away. The leader in 4-hit games was a railroader. Jacob Lott had 3 4-hit games. He had 6 multiple hit games in the regular season. 1-1 pitch. Low and inside. Simmons now up an account, 2 balls and a strike. Let's see if we can get 200 on the broadcast tonight. We're at 110, and we're just getting started here in the ball game. Bottom of the third, 3-0. That's a nice breaking pitch by Xander Smith. His second start of the year, only 12 1/3 innings in his 6 previous appearances. A big 7th appearance for the tall right-hander. Simmons right back up the middle and having a little trouble grabbing it was Reinhardt, but he throws Simmons out and works like a bunt. That was off the end of the bat. Reinhardt dropped something. I thought it was the baseball at first, but it ended up being, I think, his glasses. And Simmons out 4-3 for out number 1. Now Charlie Bozeman steps to the plate. Had an RBI single between short and third, and the Rotors are bringing their infield in with 1 out. Runners at second and third. Blake Carter is on deck. Open stance for Bozeman. And then he'll deliver a single in the left field. That's down. They're going to send the runner. Here comes the throw. And the play is not in time. Cut off by A.J. Armstrong, and his throw was late to the plate. And Charlie Bozeman with 2 hits and 3 RBIs in the ball game, and the Rhythm go up 5-0. He hit it through the drawn-in infield. He will stay down at first base. Did not try to advance to second on the throw home. So the 2 leadoff walks here in the third have come home for the Rhythm, and now Blake Carter has swung at the first pitch that he saw in the first inning and grounded into a fielder's choice. Looks at a ball high and inside. Blake Carter, Lipscomb University product from Knoxville Webb High School. Looks at a breaking pitch that's in there for a called strike. Blake kind of had an up and a down year. He's had 6 hits in a 2-game doubleheader at Henderson. Hitting .265, playing in his 35th game of the year. Actually has more official plate appearances than anybody on the club. Hits that one well out to center field. Jaden Perez back and over, makes the catch in the right field side. Ball squirts away. Bozeman not even watching down there at first base. So he's not going anywhere. And there's the second out. Carter now 0 for 2. Nolan Sargent lined out to Matt Reinhardt, the second baseman, to lead off the second. Stands in with 2 outs, and Bozeman at first base. Rhythm 3 in the first, 2 here in the third, have a 5-0 lead. Sargent also a 4-hit day at Madisonville. Takes a pitch down. Not had the summer at the plate that he had hoped, hitting 191. Does not have a big fly yet this year. 7 RBIs, has walked 22 times. Left-handed hitter heading to Cleveland State after 1 year at my alma mater, Belmont University. Anchor Transportation bus driver Stephen Ardito, our team bus driver, is watching and listening in Clarksville. Probably got Barbara there. They probably got some popcorn, and that ball's hit out to shallow right center field. That is going to drop. Heading to third and getting in standing is Charlie Bozeman with the little flare out to right center field by Sargent. Keeps the inning going and runners at the corners. Second hit of the inning. And that'll bring up Parker Staborski, the number 9 hole hitter.
Staborski.
Doug Dorn up in the press box of Dorn Insurance Training. He's also a yard card participant. Delivering, is that some macaroni and cheese? Is that what that is? Macaroni and cheese to Ava. Another pitch over the head of Staborski for ball 1. It's hard to see the bullpens here, but normally down the right field line, we can at least see a head standing, and does not look as though there's any activity. Fulton's pitching staff has to be gassed. Runner goes, pitches a ball, throw down, and Sargent is out at second base. And again, either Reinhardt's picking up the ball or he's picking up the glasses. But Nolan Sargent caught stealing for out number 3. Nice throw there by Caleb Warren. 2-4 ends the inning. There were 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left on. And we are a third of the way through this game, scheduled for 9. 5-0, full count, trying to get the leg up on this championship series.
Escape to a taste of the tropics with Frosted Luau, Hendersonville's favorite soft serve ice cream truck. Indulge in our creamy delights with options for everyone, including dairy-free and vegan treats. Planning a corporate event or a birthday bash? Let Frosted Luau cater to your sweet cravings. Visit frostedluau.com, follow us on Instagram at Frosted Luau, or call 615-422-6133 to book your luau today. Frosted Luau, where every cup is a vacation.
United Machine and Tool has been manufacturing the highest quality projects for a wide variety of industries for over 35 years. We deliver high-quality CNC machine components and fabrication projects from prototype to production. United Machine and Tool is committed to quality and excellence in the manufacturing industry. We're located in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. Check us out on the web at umttn.com for any manufacturing need. That's United Machine and Tool, a proud sponsor of the Full Count Rhythm.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Top of the order for the Rotors here in the top of the 4th inning. Thomas Kewen reached on an error in the first. Was erased on a 4-6-3 due-det double play by Trevor Sauceman as Tate Riggs has now gone 2-0 on a pitch. Look pretty close right here. The inside corner. There's one right down the can for a called strike. Jay Meyer said they called AAA Autoglass. Needs some work done. There's a line drive out to center field, and that kid just keeps on hitting. He's got now a 7-game hitting streak. He's got a hit in every game he's played for Fulton.
Next up for the Railroaders, right fielder number 2, Jacob Lott.
A late add and a good one for Fulton. Now Jacob Lott popped out to the second baseman. I'm sorry, the third baseman, throw over to first. Wrote in there, pop out to the 4, but that was not correct. Jake Merrick plays the number 5 position. That's third base. Wouldn't think that Kewen would be taking off as Lott swings at the first pitch. Down by 5 runs here in the top of the 4th, but conventional baseball is not always played. I've seen a lot of teams pull their infield in early in the game. You saw the Rotors do it earlier in this game. That just seems like a little too drastic too early in a game to me, but I'm old school. Full count trying to get their 3rd championship in 4 years in the Ohio Valley League. Riggs retired 8 straight before that single by Kewen. Jacob Lott also has a 6-game hitting streak. And a swing and a miss on a breaking pitch. Longest hitting streak of the year for the Rotors, 8 games by Dylan Cool, who is no longer on the club. Ellis Hurt has a current 5-game hitting streak, as Chris Henson as the throw goes over to third base. Chris Henson, the first baseman, has a 6-game hitting streak. Two-two pitch is high and away. Full Count Ministries, full count. Runner at first, nobody out. Full count looking for another ground ball. Runner goes, pitch is drilled down the right field line. If it's fair, it's trouble. And it is fair, and it one hops and hits the fair pole. John Paul Head digs it out of there, and they're going to hold the runner at third base, and runner's going to be at second and third as the throw comes in, hops off of Simmons, the catcher. And there's a double for Jacob Lott. Back-to-back hits have something brewing for the Rotors here in the top of the 4th. First 2 hits of the ball game given up by Tate Riggs. Lott led the team in hitting this year, hit .292, or is hitting .292. That was his 7th double of the year. Now Trevor Sossman, who grounded into the 4-6-3 double play in the first, stands in with 2 on and nobody out. Slow breaking pitch. Not sure where that one missed. If it missed, it had to have been up. Looked like it was right over the plate. Sossman from Willamette swings and misses at a breaking pitch. University, that's up in Salem, Oregon. Matthew Reinhardt, or Matt Reinhardt, also from there. I believe J.D. Willis and who's the head coach, and Charlie Forbett Jr., who's a GM and assistant coach also at Willamette. There's a line drive into foul territory down the right field line. Looked pretty good off the bat, but Sossman didn't get very far out of the batter's box, so context clues indicated it was probably going to be a foul ball. He's now down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sossman, 6'2", 250 pounds, from Sherman Oaks, California. The 1-2, swinging a foul tip. He just barely got a piece of that one. Trying to swing at about anything that's close. Sossman hitting .237. He's got 23 hits, including 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. Overhand breaking pitch catches that outside corner, and that rings him up with a Safeware strikeout for out number 1. Third strikeout of the ball game for Riggs. Now Ellis Hurt, former teammate at Trevecca. I think he was there for 2 years. He's looking for a new place to play. Ellis, I believe from Harpeth High School from Pegram, Tennessee, fouls that one off toward field 4. AAA autoglass foul ball. 6'1", 190-pound rising junior. Had 9 doubles this past year. Nope, that was with Henderson last year. See, I don't think he had 9 doubles with Trevecca. He's on the club with Josh Carmen as an assistant coach and a whole bunch of rhythm players who have played at Trevecca. Logan Harrell, Jonas Smithson, Ryan and Dawson Sweeney as that pitch is fouled back. Cade Moore, who played the first half of the year for the Rhythm. He'll be heading back to Trevecca, former Kentucky Wesleyan Panther. Did not play with Chase Fernandez and Corbin Crosby because they're incoming freshmen headed to Trevecca. 1-2 pitch. Grounded up the middle. That's a base hit. Will score 1. They will hold the runner at third. And the Rotors on the board. Hurt with an RBI single scores Kewen, who singled to begin the inning. So 3 hits now in the top of the 4th. Jacob Lott moves over to third base. Otto Rubio says, let's go. He's a missionary for Full Count down in Nicaragua. He and his buddies Alex Montiel, David Zeladon, Wilmer Lopez. Riggs struggling here in the top of the 4th. That's how you say Jaro if you're looking on Facebook. Idle. It's not Gyro. Don't even think about calling him Gyro or J-Ro. He don't like that. I'm just kidding. Call him whatever you want as long as he trusts Jesus. 2-0 pitch, fouled back off the screen, 2 balls and a strike. Also, Mario Gonzalez, the Honduras ministry director. Arsenio Rodriguez in Nicaragua. Norvin Gutierrez. Reeder Meneses, all missionaries for Full Count in Nicaragua. And Carolina Martinez, the chef. The cook. Numero uno in everybody's book who goes to Nicaragua on a Full Count mission trip. Miss Carolina. 3 balls and a strike to Chris Henson, who grounded out the third. 1 out. There's a breaking pitch on the inside corner as Riggs went to the breaker. Full Count Ministries, Full Count. Jaden Perez on deck. Tate Riggs, a 6'1", 195-pound right-hander in Nolensville High School, was at Queens University in Charlotte, North Carolina last year. And walks. Henson to load the bases. It's the first walk of the game for Riggs. Let's see if Jimmy Gamboa, the pitching coach. No. Jimmy Gamboa is not going to go out. It's going to be Josh Carmen, the head coach. Typically, unless it's a Trevecca player, he's going out there to get the baseball. How many pitches has he thrown? 50. He's at 50 right now, but he might know Tate Riggs well enough. See if he can go out there and challenge him. We cannot see the bullpen at all down the left field line. So I have no idea, but I'm confident somebody is warming up. John Smithson, the director of ministry for Full Count, is in uniform tonight. He is handling bench coach duties. As Carson Howard is Noah Staaki, and Jonas Smithson is also away from the team. Carson Howard on vacay. No idea where he's at. Oh, Maureen Thompson, the mother of Jack, don't call me Armstrong Thompson, listening in I want to say Reston, Virginia. Final answer, Reston, Virginia.
Now, number 6, Jaden Perez.
Look who else is listening. Look who else is listening. Look, you know that one? Rosebud. Perez tried to check a swing, but he could not hold up on the changeup. We see you, Rosie. Our middle daughter down in Caledonia, Mississippi. She's been working hard all day today. They're getting ready for a move. Wonder if Reese Snapka's listening in. 0-1 swung on a miss as Perez again expecting the heater gets the breaking pitch, and he's down in the count 0-2. Perez grounded out to second base to end the second inning. Reese Snapka and Tim Dixon, the only yard card winners this year. 0-2, nice stop by Simmons. Keep the runners at their respective bases. That's Jacob Lott at third and Ellis Hurt at second. Chris Henson at first. 1 run in. Thomas Kewen scored the first run of the ball game. Reese and Sloaney got to spend the night last night at Aunt Delaney's house down in Columbus, Mississippi. Wonder where they're sleeping tonight. Swing and a miss on an inside fastball, and down goes Perez at a Safeware strikeout. We're out number 2. He took a hack right there.
Now back to catcher number 20.
Came up empty, the redshirt freshman at Ball State from Miami, Florida. Caleb Warren will step to the plate. Jaden's father, Roger, is here. Jessica, his mom, and sisters Jenna and Jesse probably listening in down in Miami, as are Nanny, Abuela, y Abuela. But his girlfriend Ashley's here in attendance. Met her before the ball game. Seems like a sweet young lady from Gallatin High School. Caleb Warren struck out to start the third. Swings and misses at the first pitch. Riggs trying to get out of further trouble here in the top of the fourth. Misses with that pitch. Got a contrast in ballparks here. 320 down the line, both lines here at Drakes Creek. 345 in right center, 345 in left center, 370 to dead center. Ground ball to short. This should end the inning. McCarron will toss over to second base for the fielder's choice. And the Rotors strand 3, but they score 1 on 3 hits. There were no errors. We will head to the bottom of the fourth. 5-1 is the score. Rhythm will see if they can add to their 4-run lead. You're listening and watching the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Feeling tight, stiff, and not quite yourself? Then it might be time to go see the professionals at Absolute Wellness. Located at 101 Tennessee Way, Suite 100 here in Hendersonville, Absolute Wellness can get you back on track with their numerous services like chiropractic care, massage, acupuncture, spinal decompression. Call Absolute Wellness at 615-264-8515 today to get in on some great offers. That's Absolute Wellness. Your road to absolute wellness starts here. We all think about our home's yards, gutters, floors, and so much more. When was the last time you thought about your sprinkler system? That's where Music City Fire Sprinkler steps in. It may shock you that in-home sprinkler systems are discreet and affordable. Let the experts at Music City Fire Sprinkler tell you for themselves. Give them a call at 615-826-7450 or check them out on the web at mcfs.us. That's Music City Fire Sprinkler, proud sponsor of the Full Count Rhythm.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Tim Reese and Susan Reese back up in the Full Count Rhythm press box, along with the rhythm section. Ken Stegall, our official scorer. Tim Ferguson, the in-house voice of the Full Count Rhythm in his first year. And Ava, don't call me Gardner Dorn, is our clock operator, also known as our scoreboard operator. My wife handling a lot of duties here besides the computer. She's also killing the flies that are up here. Very small window we have to operate out of. And Eddie, we do have air conditioning in here, but we don't have room for a road broadcaster, which is unfortunate. But Eddie is not here, as far as I can tell. The voice of the Fulton Railroaders, but I'll see him tomorrow night, Lord willing. Staborski hits one off the handle out to shallow right field, and Matt Reinhardt over to make the catch. One pitch, one out. Eddie, it's a requirement for all broadcasters. If a guy gets out on the first pitch, you have to say that. One pitch, one out. Hello to Barbara. Barbara Ardito watching in Clarks Vegas with Steven. They might be in two different rooms. I don't know. Another first pitch swinging is Elijah Stockton. He's going to pop this one over and see if Thomas Kuhn can catch a pop-up. And we have determined that both the second baseman and shortstop can catch pop-ups. Two pitches, two outs. And here's a question for everybody out in Facebook and YouTube land. What's the one thing that John Paul Head cannot do in this at-bat? Yard card being delivered by Tim Ferguson and John Paul Head taking all the way. There's no way he can swing at the first pitch. You can't have a three-pitch inning. That is a perfect inning, an immaculate inning. Takes a called strike as Xander Smith delivers. And now he's down in the count 0-2. So no Reese Snapka watching, just Sloaney and Charlie. Two granddaughters in Mississippi. Our other granddaughter was up in the press box, Lucy. John Paul walked and scored in the first, flew out to deep center field. Xander thought he got him looking there. Jaden Perez made a great running catch up against the frosted luau sign just to the left of the batter's eye, out there at the AAA Autoglass sign in center field. That's a line drive over the head of Reinhardt that will be cut off by Jacob Lott, and there is a two-out single as John Paul Head extends his hitting streak now to 9 games. That's his longest of the year. He had a 7-game and a 6-game hitting streak earlier this year. The longest hitting streak by the man on deck, that's Jake Merrick, longest in the OVL this year. Devin McCarron looking to extend his hitting streak. He has a 7-game streak going. Looks at ball one. Fly out and a walk. He's also scored a run. Got the 2-run third going with a leadoff walk. Rounds to A.J. Armstrong. Goes to second for the force. And that ends the inning as McCarron out on a fielder's choice. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. Full count has left a runner on every inning and leads 5-1. We are through 4 innings, scheduled for 9 here as we are headed to the top of the 5th. See if we have a new pitcher out there for Full Count. We'll be right back on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Escape to a taste of the tropics with Frosted Luau, Hendersonville's favorite soft-serve ice cream truck. Indulge in our creamy delights with options for everyone, including dairy-free and vegan treats. Planning a corporate event or a birthday bash? Let Frosted Luau cater to your sweet cravings. Visit frostedluau.com, follow us on Instagram at Frosted Luau, or call 615-422-6133 to book your luau today. Frosted Luau, where every cup is a vacation.
Think about something for a moment. Every single business, from the smallest neighborhood bakery to the biggest multinational corporation, is someone's dream come true. The byproduct of planning and determination and hard work. If you own a business, you already know that. So you'll also understand that fire and security protection isn't just about protecting property. It's about safeguarding dreams. At Corson, that's what we've specialized in since 1946. Corson Fire and Security. Corson.com.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Welcome back on the Full Count Broadcast Network. One of these two teams is going to tie the DuBois County Bombers with 3 championships since the OVL began back in 2011. The Rotors won 2011 and 2013, fell to the Hoptown Hoppers in 2012. The Hoppers won in 2019 before COVID hit in 2020. Hoppers defeated the DuBois County Bombers in 2019, so that was their second championship. DuBois won in 2017 and 2021. And Full Count won in 22 and 23, left and went to the Prospect League. And then came back this year as A.J. Armstrong, Matt Reinhart in the top of the order. And there's a long base hit into left field. A.J. Armstrong between short and third. Gets another leadoff hit. He's now 1 for 2. Hit a chopper back to the pitcher in the third. Number 9 hole hitter Matt Reinhart stands in. He's from San Jose, California. Another from Willamette. There's the pipeline from Willamette. Throw down to first as Blake Carter's got to play hockey goalie there. Just knocked that one down. Got down into the turf. If this is your first time watching a ball game here at Drakes Creek number 3, this is an artificial turf infield here at Full Count. 1-0. This is outside. Tate Riggs still on the mound for the Rhythm, now 62 pitches. Sure, a short leash here in the 5th. Again, we cannot see who's loosening down the left field line. Tapper foul. The reason we can is there's a huge building that just got built this past spring that is the dugout, the locker room, the workout facility, and the batting cages for the local high school, Hendersonville High School, that plays their games here at DC3, Drakes Creek Field number 3. 2-1 pitch is high. Reinhardt gave up 3 hits and a walk in the 4th. Single by Thomas Kewen, double by Jacob Lott, then an RBI single by Ellis Hurt. Which stranded the bases loaded as he gets the 3-1 pitch in there for a called strike. And we'll have a Full Count Ministries full count. We'll have the Full Count Ministries verse or verses of the game at the end of the game, along with the Chick-fil-A of Rivergate player of the game. Runner does not go. Pitch is on the outside corner. And Reinhardt thought he had him ball 4, but home plate umpire Dave Upright had a different view. That is a Safeware strikeout. 5th strikeout of the game for Riggs. That was a tough pitch right there. Don't want to take a pitch that close, but that may have been one that whispered. That's a line drive right to the third baseman, Merrick, and his throw to first doubles up A.J. Armstrong, took a couple steps towards second, and that's another do-dat double play to end the inning. Line drive by Kewen, who loves to swing at the first pitch, apparently. Lines out to Merrick, who throws to first base to double off A.J. Armstrong. Riggs faces the minimum, gives up a hit. Nobody left aboard. 1 run, 4 hits for the Rotors. 5 runs, 7 hits for Full Count. We're going to keep it right here, as it is time to give you a little Ohio Valley League history lesson here. Did a little bit of work. Jake Merrick, I was telling you about, has a 12-game hitting streak this year. The next top 2 in the league, Noah Wagster for the Paducah Chiefs, had 2 11-game hitting streaks this year. TK Madera of the Paducah Chiefs also had 2 10-game hitting streaks. In Rhythm history, the longest hitting streak of Rhythm in the now 4 years was Drew Robertson back in 2023. His wife Caroline works our merchandise pavilion here at DC3. Drew Robertson, a 3-year player for Full Count, hit in a 17 games in the 2023 season. That was the championship year at Henderson flash. Drew Robertson, the former Catawba Indian. And that is your Ohio Valley League and Full Count Rhythm history lesson tonight. Jake Merrick had just made that play. 5-3, do that double play, leads off facing big Xander Smith in his 5th inning. Spikes the fastball low and outside. Merrick doubled down the third base line in the first, scored, and then walked and scored in the third. So he's 1 for 1. We got a yard card on Jake Merrick here starting off. Anybody? Jake Merrick, a popular pick for the yard card. Again, if you pick the Rhythm player who's going to hit a home run in that at-bat, you'll get a free certificate for a Chick-fil-A meal at any Chick-fil-A. It's not just good at Chick-fil-A Rivergate, but generous and gracious Todd Hundley has decided on a game here in the playoffs to give out free chicken meals. That's what you need. You need to pull a yard card and a guy wants to lay down a bunt. Anybody had that ever happen before? Oh, wait a minute, that was Tim Ferguson. But Jake Merrick likes to square around a bunt on a 3-0 pitch. He wasn't going to bunt. 3-1 from Smith. That's going to catch the inside corner. And Jake is going to face a Full Count Ministries full count. Steve's working tonight. Did Steve Ardito not? He didn't chime in. He can't. He said he was going to go to Ohio. Maybe he's back from that trip. 3-0 pitch misses inside. Merrick draws his second walk. Another leadoff walk. That is the 4th walk of the game for Xander Smith. Georgetown College. Georgetown's up there in Georgetown, Kentucky, just outside of Lexington. I believe that's where the Louisville Jockeys played in their second and last year. As Trace Simmons stands in. Breaking pitch misses outside. Rhythm still have not hit a grand slam this year. I'm going to use my yard card when it's appropriate with the bases loaded. I'm still going to hold out. See if we need a grand salami. That's driven out to right center field. That should get down, and it will. Cut off by Lott. His throw to third is not in time. The home plate umpire down there to make the call. Dave upright as Merrick just gets under, and that's going to be a double. Oh, that's not a double if he stays at first. Throw apparently not cut off. I'm wondering why he didn't go down to second. Who's that? Ryan Sweeney over there. Can't get a double, Ken, if you don't go to second. That makes that scoring decision pretty easy, doesn't it? I was expecting him to follow it up at second base, but if no runner's on, that's not going to be a double anyways. Lott came over there and cut it off, but yeah. Runners at first and third, and now we got the bases loaded, and guess who's coming to the plate? My yard card participant is Charlie Bozeman takes one. That was a fastball, too. That was no cheapie. So the 5th plunking of the year by Xander Smith. The victim is Charlie Bozeman. And the bases are juiced with Full Count Rhythm players, and it's Blake Carter time with the bases loaded, and I am taking my yard card out and putting it on Blake Carter. Well, how many home runs does Blake Carter have on the year, you ask? He has 4. 4 big flies. Blake Carter. He's over 2, so that means he's due. Takes a inside breaking pitch for ball 1. Fielder's choice in the first, flew out to center into third, batting for the 3rd time here in the 5th. Fouled that one straight back. That was a home run cut, folks. 6'3", 215-pound rising sophomore from Knoxville. He's a business finance major over there at Lipscomb. Clark and Kimberly Carter, his parents. Caroline, sister, granddaddy, and grandmama in Kingsport. And they also hang out in Knoxville, Tennessee. Grandpa and Marie are in Johnson City, Tennessee, and Nana and Peepaw Mitch in Elizabethton. And a slow roller back to the pitcher. And no grand slam in this at-bat. It's a fielder's choice. Xander Smith with the throw to Caleb Warren. And wah, 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 wah. I lose my yard card.
Now batting center fielder number.
For some reason, Caleb Warren did not try to throw down to first base to get the 1-2-3 double play. And the bases remain loaded. And Nolan Sargent's at the plate. Don't think we got a yard card for Nolan. He doesn't have a big fly on the year. Not that he can't do it. He just hasn't. Trey Simmons now at third. Charlie Bozeman at second. Blake Carter, the new runner at first base. Sarge, they call him. Breaking pitch missed somewhere, I'm guessing down. Cleveland State, not North Ohio. It's over there in Cleveland, Tennessee. He's from Chattanooga's Macaulay High School. Scott and Leah Sargent, his parents. He's got a brother, Tucker. Down the third base line, and that's fair. And into left field, 1 run will score. Here comes another, and the throw is cut off, and a 2-run single for Nolan Sargent. And that baby hugged at third base line. He had a bloop single in the third. This one between A.J. Armstrong and the fair line. He goes oppo taco for 2 ribeyes. Carter down to second base. Simmons and Bozeman come in to score. And the Rhythm lead 7-1. Second hit in the inning. Go along with a walk and a hit batter. As Parker Staborski 0 for 2 stands in, looks at ball 1. And now I see a head down the right field line and a ball being thrown. So somebody loosening down that right field line. Staborski takes a pitch. May have stayed inside. Parker from Sherrills Ford, North Carolina. Started out at Lenore Ryan and then transferred to Catawba within the, what do they call that conference, Ken? Is that the Southern Athletic Conference? I think that's what that is. Catawba and Lenore Ryan, LMU, and over there he's a business major at Catawba. Don't call me Catawaba. Ground ball up the middle. Kuhn touches second and his throw to first, and that's a 6-3 inning-ending double play. Nice play there by Thomas Kuhn. I apologize. And the Rhythm can only push 2 across, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners. Nope, 1 runner left on base. I got that right, Ken? 1 runner. And they've still left 1 runner on base every inning. We're through 5, 7-1 is the score. We'll be right back on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Don't strike out at your next party. Order the food that will get your crowd cheering. Chick-fil-A of Rivergate. We have many catering options available, from our Chick-fil-A nugget trays to our original Chick-fil-A sandwiches to our chocolate chunk cookies and fudge brownies. We have something for everyone. Order online at chickfil-a.com or call the store at 615-851-4007.
If you didn't know, the Full Count Rhythm is part of the organization called Full Count Ministries. Full Count's mission is to give every baseball player the opportunity to hear the gospel, respond to the gospel, and grow in the relationship with Jesus. With Full Count, you could lead by discipling the next generation by using our resources, or you could go on international mission trips. For more of what we do, check out our website at fullcountministries.com or our pages on Instagram and Facebook.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Brainland. Hendersonville Firefighters Association call to the bullpen. Number 30, From Lee University, Braylon Hall, 6'2", 170-pound right-hander, rising sophomore for the Lee University Flames. He's from Knoxville's Farragut High School. His parents, Scott and Suzanne, are here in attendance, sitting right behind home plate. Saw them talk to them a little bit before the game. She said that she's a school teacher. Ashley, Jaden Perez's girlfriend, was talking about being an elementary ed major and maybe changing to criminal justice. I think Suzanne went down there and talked to her a little bit and said, hey, it's still a good job. Nana's in Lenore City, Tennessee, might be listening in. Tanner Sandell is Braylon's mentor. He and Kaylin and Dawson probably here tonight. They don't miss too many games. Kate Riggs pitched the first 5, and now it's Braylon Hall's turn to set down some rotors. As 2, 3, and 4 will come to the plate here in the 6th. Jacob Lott, Trevor Sossman, and Ellis Hurt. Swinging a foul tip into the mid on the 1-0. Lott is 1 for 2. Fouled back. Riggs goes 5 innings, gives up 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. Walked a batter. Struck out 5. John Smithson wearing Jackie Robinson's number 42 tonight. That's a line drive that will get down. Throw to first is not going to be in time. That's off the end of the bat. A soft line drive that landed just on the other side of second base. And Lott now 2 for 3. Gets an infield single. A Karen's throw. Not in time. Well, Trevor Sossman is 0 for 2, stands in. Another left-handed batter for the Rotors. They packed their lineup with left-handed batters. If you've ever been to Low House Field, you know why. 220-foot fence down that right field line with a 40-foot high wall that protects their police and fire building. It's on the other side. Pitch by Hall, missed somewhere. It does go out to about 370 in dead center, but after you see 220 down the right field line, it looks like it's 550 feet out there to center field. But it's really only as far as the 370 that's here. But it doesn't seem like it. 345 down their third base line. They have the smallest yard in the Ohio Valley League. Throw over to first, and Lott is back. That's why they lead the league in home runs hit in that yard. Full Count as a team led the league in home runs. Had 30 after the regular season, now have 33. Fouled back. The Rotors have 29 home runs. At Low House Field, though, 42 balls have left the yard. I don't think they've had any. Maybe they've had one inside the park home run, but most of them leave the yard over there, and most of them leave over the right field wall. I don't know that I've ever seen a ball go out in left center field out there by their party deck. Another foul ball back to the screen. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. 42 home runs, and the home team and the visitors have each hit 21 now after the first round of the playoffs. In the regular season, the visitors hit 20 and the Rotors hit 18, but Fulton hit 3 in the playoffs. Leading home run hitter at home for Fulton was Dylan Cool. Caleb Warren and Jacob Lott had 3 each. Sossman and Shane Carnes had 2. Full Count only hit 2 home runs there this year. 2-2 pitch. Hall gets a ground ball to third. Merrick is going to try to go to second for one, and to throw to first is in time to get Trevor Sauceman as they go around the horn. A 5-4-3. Do that double play, and the prescription was called in, just what the doctor ordered for Braylon Hall. That is the second twin killing of the ball game. And a nice stretch over there by Carter. A great turn by Elijah Stockton. That erases the leadoff single by Jacob Lott. And now Ellis Hurt steps to the plate with nobody on and 2 out. He swings and fouls one off his leg. Braylon Hall wants to field that and throw it over to his buddy Blake Carter, but home plate umpire Mr. Upright says, no, we won't have that. Hurt had an RBI single in the 4th, drove in Thomas Kewen. Hurt now 1 for 2. Will Cox, the commissioner of the Ohio Valley League, up in the press box, just to say howdy do. 0-1 pitch. That sails right across the plate for a called strike. Will Cox, he likes to score a game. Former official scorer for the Madisonville Miners. Well hit out the left field, and Bozeman's not going to get that one. Cuts it off, and Hurt will stay at first base. Nice play there by Charlie Bozeman, but Ellis Hurt is 2 for 3. 2 hits in the inning off of Hall, who's on in relief of Tate Riggs. Right-hander heading to Columbia State to play for Desi Ammons. In line for the victory, if the Rhythm can hang on. Chris Henson, 0 for 1 with a walk, stands in. From Florence, Kentucky, just on the Kentucky side of my hometown, my wife's hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio. That's well hit out to left center, and Bozeman's on his horse, and he won't get that one. It'll hit off the first bank sign in left field. They're sending Hurt to the plate, and the throw gets out of the glove of Devin McCarron, and that is an RBI double by Chris Henson. 2 shots out the left center off of Braylon Hall as they get 1 run back from the 2 scored in the bottom of the 5th. That's now 3 hits in the inning. Jaden Perez, 0 for 2, stands in. Full count 242. Discipleship group member this past year. 4 freshmen. About 7 or 8 upperclassmen, I guess, maybe 9. As he looks at the first pitch in there for a called strike. Did not play in the game last night, or 2 nights ago, against the Paducah Chiefs. Owen Boswell played center field. But Boswell was a bad, bad boy on Thursday night. He said something the home plate umpire did not like, and he got tossed out of the game, which means he has to sit out tonight's ball game. 1-1 pitch, 2 outs, a runner at second. This is away. Perez playing in his 30th game of the year, came in hitting .229, 22 hits, included double, a home run, 10 RBIs. Left-handed hitting outfielder from Miami. On the inside corner, and he's looking at a 2-ball and 2-strike count. Jaden got in a couple of games this past year for Vol State in the first half of the season, and then decided to redshirt. Had 3 at-bats, including a double and a couple RBIs, but then put on his red shirt, fouls that one off. Head coach Jim McGuire coming up on his 5th year at the helm at Volunteer State Community College, just down the road here in Gallatin, Tennessee. He'll have these 3 rotors back, A.J. Armstrong, Jaden Perez, and Brady Davis. Also going to have a Paducah Chief, Braden Baker, And Gabe Eddington from Hoptown, transferring from Austin P. Braden Baker transferring from Murray State. Jonathan Stewart, catcher for the Rhythm, transferring from Daytona State to Vol State. And in this day and age of the portal, there's a lot of movement in college baseball. I don't know how many ultimately got in the portal, but I think it was like 6,000 at one point that I heard. 2-2 pitch, just down. Braylon Hall with that little back kick with that right leg. I think he thought he might get a call there. He did not. And well, the Full Count Ministries, full count. 1 run in, and Henson at second base after the RBI double. Rez gripping that bat, and he's going to take ball 4 inside, just inside. First walk of the inning. That'll bring up Caleb Warren, the catcher.
Now that's catching number 20, Caleb Warren.
Braylon Hall's on for his 11th appearance of the year, all in relief. He has 17 innings prior to this game, giving up 15 hits, 7 runs. Only 5 of those are earned. Has walked 10, struck out 13, but he leads the club in hit by pitches. That's 8 as Elijah Stockton runs over to second base like somebody dropped a dollar. The pitch is low and outside. I think he saw some cash come out of Chris Henson's back pocket, and he looked like he was going to retrieve that. Came out of nowhere. 2 on, 2 out. Warren looks at a called strike. Braylon Hall, 2.65 ERA, has 1 save on the year, his 0-1 record. He will not be around long enough to make this a save opportunity. That is not how Josh Carman works. 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. The last 3 wins for Full Count have been saved by Ryan Sweeney, who now has 4. I believe that, is it Hayes Melville? I think he finished the regular season with 3 saves, which was the most by a pitcher in the OVL this year. 1-2, misses outside. Last year, the saves leader was a now former Vol State Pioneer, Jack McLaurie, who had 4 saves for the Paducah Chiefs. 2-2, swung on and missed, and a Safeware strikeout. Ends the inning for Braylon Hall as he does give up 1 run on 3 hits. There were no errors. 2 runners were left aboard. Raiders are left 3 on in the 4th and now 2 on here in the 6th. We're going to head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Full Count going to try to get some Zach Williams insurance runs. Brought to you by Country Financial. Take a quick break. Be right back.
Feeling tight, stiff, and not quite yourself? Then it might be time to go see the professionals at Absolute Wellness. Located at 101 Tennessee Way, Suite 100 here in Hendersonville, Absolute Wellness can get you back on track with their numerous services like chiropractic care, massage, acupuncture, spinal decompression. Call Absolute Wellness at 615-264-8515 today to get in on some great offers. That's Absolute Wellness. Your road to Absolute Wellness starts here.
Compliant with code. If you're a facility manager or building owner, you've heard the term plenty of times. At Corson Fire and Security, we work to keep buildings compliant with the most demanding code of all, our own. We've been protecting people and property since before most of today's codes were even written. And what we've learned along the way makes us the best choice to partner with for the future. Corson Fire and Security, celebrating 70 years. Learn more at corson.com.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
New pitcher on the mound for the Fulton Railroaders, Wade Sabo, number 18, a left-hander out of Southeastern Illinois Community College from Carlisle, Illinois, 6', 200-pound sophomore. He started the championship game, that 3rd game, against the Paducah Chiefs on Thursday. Went 1 2/3 innings through 40 pitches in that game. Gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, walked 4, struck out a batter. And he is on in relief of Xander Smith, who went 5 innings. Gave up 9 hits, 7 runs. They were all earned. He ended up walking 4 batters. I got 1 strikeout, and that was the first batter of the ball game. Did plunk a batter.
Now batting.
Faced 27 batters as he gives way to Wade Sabo, S-A-B-O. And he's facing Elijah Stockton. They wanted to check down at third base. I didn't see a check happen. Tapper at the plate. Seven to 2 is the score. Ground ball to second base. Reinhardt down. And he throws over to Henson for out number 1. That'll bring up John Paul Head. And Ava says yard card. As soon as I say John Paul, she's going to come up with a yard card. I've lost my yard card, Ava, trying to get a Chick-fil-A of Rivergate meal, courtesy of Todd Hundley and the folks at Chick-fil-A of Rivergate, right up the road in Madison, Tennessee. John Paul with 9 big flies, takes one at the knees for a called strike. 1 for 2 in the ball game. He's hitting 500 or a better a large part of the year. It's hard to sustain that. You go 2 for 4 in a game, that's a good game, and your batting average goes down when you're batting 500. Ground ball to second. Reinhardt stays down again. Glove sidearm delivery over to first base, and Ava has lost her yard card. Ken Stiegel, I believe, still has his. Tim Ferguson still has his. Right? Or did Tim lose his? Well, Ken guy walked.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So Sue's, my wife's the only one left up here that's got a yard card. She usually lets me play it for her. We'll see if she does tonight. Devin McCarron, 0 for 2. Slices that one off the screen to the right. Brady Davis, everywhere, man. He comes out of the rotor dugout, picks that one up. Number 4 in the Cleveland Brown, as former play-by-play man Zach Williams used to call him. Swing and a miss, and 2 outs, and Rhythm got to get something going if they're going to get some Zach Williams insurance runs here in the bottom of the 6th. Zach got a family and an insurance agency. He doesn't have time to broadcast baseball. Got time to go eat, though. And he works out a bunch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Eddie likes to say deuces are wild. Lined out to center field. That's going to get down. Perez over to try to cut it off. McCarron is heading to second to throw. That is a crazy slide there as he bounces. But McCarron gets in under the tag for a dudette double. I have to stand him up and see if he's still got all his teeth. Josh Carmen, the third base coach, will head down to second base and check on McCarron. That sometimes you can get a rough slide on this carpet. It's brand new after, I guess, at the beginning of this baseball season in April is when they got it laid down. But Devin McCarron extends his hitting streak now to 8 games with that double. And now Jake Merrick at the plate. Takes a strike on the outside corner. He's been on base all 3 times he's come to the plate. Doubled in the first, walked in the third and fifth. He scored 2 of the 7 runs. Rhythm trying to increase their lead with some Zach Williams insurance runs. Fouls that one just over the screen. That's a AAA autoglass foul ball. Dylan Doris, one of the many coaches in the Full Count Fall League. If you've got a high school player here in the area and want to sign up, go to fullcountministries.com, and I think sign up end on the 31st of July. Probably going to have well over 200 at the runner's taken off to third base, and he's going to be out as Sabo steps off the base. McCarron was hopping, and Sabo never delivered the pitch that McCarron thought he was going to deliver. And he steps off the base and throws for a caught stealing. That is a 1. You don't see this very often. That's a 1-5 caught stealing. So no Zach Williams insurance runs. In the 6th, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left the board. First inning, the Rhythm don't leave one standing. And we are going to the top of the 7th. Full count with a 5-run lead. And looks like we'll have a Hendersonville Firefighters Association call to the bullpen when we return.
If you didn't know, the Full Count Rhythm is part of the organization called Full Count Ministries. Full Count's mission is to give every baseball player the opportunity to hear the gospel, respond to the gospel, and grow in the relationship with Jesus. With Full Count, you could lead by discipling the next generation by using our resources, or you could go on international mission trips. For more of what we do, check out our website at fullcountministries.com or our pages on Instagram and Facebook.
Safeware is there when response is critical, assisting in the classroom as you shape the future of America, helping you build roadways and infrastructure for tomorrow. With protective solutions, innovative technology, and leading technical services, Safeware works tirelessly to provide our nation's workforce with confidence in their safety. Before, during, and after, Safeware is there.
Hendersonville Firefighters Association call to the bullpen for Full Count. Their third pitcher of the ball game, Peyton Vaught, a right-hander, looking for a place after transferring from VMI. That's Virginia Military Institute. He's 6'2", 205-pound right-hander, rising sophomore from Amelia, Virginia, the son of Robert and Carrie Vaught, brother to Anna and Jack, has grandparents in Lynchburg, Virginia that he calls Papa and Nanny, staying in the host home of Eric and Tina Stewart and Jack Thompson. Maureen Thompson's little boy is his mentor. And Vaught is out in relief of Braylon Hall, who went an inning, gave up 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned, walked 1, struck out a batter. Faced 6 in the 6th. Vaught will face 8, 9, and 1 in the Rotors lineup. A.J. Armstrong, 1 for 2, will lead off. Led off with a single in the 5th, but was cut down on a line out to Jake Merrick, the third baseman. Armstrong wandered off of first base just a little bit too far, and Merrick nabbed him for a double play. Vaught delivers one that Trace Simmons can't reach, and the count goes 2 balls and no strikes. Vaught on for his 13th appearance, 12th in relief, 22 2/3 innings, giving up 16 hits, 8 runs. 7 of those are earned and 20 walks. So control sometimes an issue as the 2-0 pitch. swung on and fouled at the plate. 28 strikeouts in those 22 2/3. Has plunked 4 batters, a 2.78 ERA. Full count with a 3.70 team ERA. Only given up 11 home runs on the year, which I believe is tops in the league. 2-1 pitch, catches the inside corner, and now 2 balls and 2 strikes. A.J. played in 36 games this past year for the Vol State Pioneers, collected 22 hits, including 5 doubles, 2 home runs, had 18 RBIs, hit .244. So he fouls that one to the screen. Paul never missed a game on the broadcast. Would drive in from Woodbury regularly to see A.J. play on the weekends. 2-2. Another foul ball off the screen as he is staying alive. I know Eddie's got a beer batter. He picked up a beer batter yesterday, and he wasn't like Harry Carey up there at Paducah Chiefs. I was expecting Eddie to ask his wife Jill to go down and get him a Budweiser or something, but I'm glad he didn't. Stayed with us. Ground ball to the left side. Merrick will cut it off, and his throw to first retires A.J. Armstrong for the first out here in the 7th. Harry Carey got where you couldn't really understand him late in the game. Eddie, we were glad that we could understand you, although later in the game we could hardly hear you. Tomorrow will be different up there in Low House, as the Rhythm will travel up there for game 2. Ground ball to McCarron. Couple hops. He gloves and throws a strike over to Carter to retire Matt Reinhardt. A couple of ground outs here to the left side. 2 outs, and back to the top of the lineup, the dangerous Thomas Kewen, who's 1 for 3.
Number 36, Thomas Kewen.
I think Jill did get him some nachos at the ballpark the other night. I keep saying it was last night. It was not. First pitch swinging, Kewen fouls that one at the plate. Game time tomorrow, I believe 6:30. Eddie, is that right? 6:30 or is it 6 o'clock? You guys got 6:30? And it does show 6:30 on Game Changer. Hoping we don't have the same issue we had up there the last time we had rain, as that breaking pitch misses just down. We were just about to get that game started that last week of the regular season. It was last week. And I mean, I had all my equipment set up. The score sheet was ready. We just didn't time the tarp, putting the tarp back on, and Rhythm made the drive all the way up to Fulton, hung around for about 3 hours. The game was delayed by an hour. 2-1 pitch to Kewen. Grounded to Merrick at third. It hits off the base and over Merrick's head in the left field. Kewen rounds first and heads to second to throw. Is in time and gets him. Wow, I wondered, did his foot come off the base? The left fielder, Charlie Bozeman, throws to second. It looked to me like Kewen got there to second in time. And he's going to come over and give his helmet to J.D. Willis, who's the third base coach, I believe, who's going to have a chat with Andy Thomason at third, but there's going to be no change. So that's going to end up being a single to Thomas Kewen.
All right,
that hits off the third base bag, but a throw by Bozeman, the left fielder, to Elijah Stockton. Retires Kewen, as we are going to go to the 7th inning stretch. The Rhythm can walk it off with 5. They need 5 runs to walk it off, so it's not like it's nothing. But we'll take a break and be right back.
Corson Fire and Security first opened for business in 1946. From the very beginning, we understood something important. We're not just protecting buildings. We're protecting the dreams that built them. We're protecting the lives unfolding inside them. Fire extinguishers, sprinkler systems, and security products are the tools of our trade, but people are the inspiration behind it. For 7 decades, we've never forgotten that. Corson Fire and Security. Corson.com.
We all think about our home's yards, gutters, floors, and so much more. When was the last time you thought about your sprinkler system? That's where Music City Fire Sprinkler steps in. It may shock you that in-home sprinkler systems are discreet and affordable. Let the experts at Music City Fire Sprinkler tell you for themselves. Give them a call at 615-826-7450 or check them out on the web at mcfs.us. That's Music City Fire Sprinkler, proud sponsor of the Full Count Rhythm.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Mm-hmm. 4, 5, and 6 due up to face Wade Sabo on in his second inning of relief. Do we have any yard card guesses? You going to go with Jake Merrick? All right, Susan Reese, Jake Merrick, yard card called right here. Eddie Crittenden says 6:30 is right, and they won't let him have beer during the game. That's probably a good call right there. We don't serve it here at Full Count, but I'm pretty sure they wouldn't let me have it either even if I wanted it. But I don't even drink it. Give me a good CFDC, Eddie. Fouled out of play. That's a caffeine-free Diet Coke. Or a red Gatorade, like Full Count Ministry Board President Brandon Jaggers brought me the other day up at Hoptown at Christian County High School. Jake Merrick gets a home run in a phone booth down the first base line and bopping out of the glove and in fair territory as that one gets in and out of the glove of Caleb Warren. No way in the world Caleb Warren should have been trying to catch that ball. I'm not sure why Chris Henson, the first baseman, wasn't coming down. That's still got to be an error. Tough play, I guess, by the catcher, but he went after it, and so nobody up in this press box has a yard card left. We are 0 for 5. Now Trace Simmons at the plate. He's got a couple of hits in the ball game. 2 RBIs on a triple. You don't see a lot of triples here, especially in the left center field alley, but it was a diving attempt by Ellis Hurt. And Jaden Perez had to come all the way over from center field to retrieve that baseball. Simmons hustling around, got into third with a head first dive. I'm not sure about that play at second base, Eddie. I agree. I mean, he was definitely there at the base before the throw. The only way, like you say, is he popped off the base. Don't you like YouTube where you can rewind it, hit that back button all you want, Eddie? And it's free. And you know my motto, if it's free, it's for me. Give me 3. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch coming to Trace Simmons right after this throw over to first. Jake Merrick back in time. 5 for 7 in stolen bases. Full count with 94 stolen bags in 106 attempts this year. Sabo on in relief of Xander Smith, who went the first 9. Spikes that fastball. Nice stop by Warren. Smith, 9 hits given up, 7 runs which were earned, walked 4, struck out a batter. Faced each batter in the lineup 3 times, got through their 27 batters. Full count with 3 in the first, 2 in the third, 2 in the fifth. Looking to add some Zach Williams Insurance Agency runs right here, Country Financial, here in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Eddie talking smack before the series 3 full count pitch. That caught apparently a piece of Caleb Warren as Trace Simmons going to go down to first base on a walk, and he's got some empathy there for his hind catcher on the opposite team. Apparently he got that one on his throwing finger. First walk of the game by Sabo, and first 2 have reached here in the 7th. Charlie Bozeman will come to the plate. He's been pretty successful there. Singled in the first, drove in a run. Singled in the third, drove in 2 runs. And the pattern stopped there. He was hit by a pitch in the 5th and later came around to score on the 2-run single by Nolan Sargent. He scored once, driven in 3 runs. He's 2 for 2. Big open stance at left leg, almost out of the batter's box on the third base side. Looks at ball 1. Eddie said they were going to, if you untune the rhythm, Eddie, he's just got away with words. Take a hack. Charlie Bozeman comes up empty. Charlie was the batter that both Reese Snapka and Tim Dixon, left-hander for Full Count, Reese Snapka, my grandson, bet on with their yard carts. This was before Todd Hundley started the game. That included winning a Chick-fil-A meal card. You can get a Chick-fil-A sandwich, or you can get 8-piece nugget meal. I might go nugget meal. That's a good choice. Hey, it's Chick-fil-A Rivergate night to feed the teams. Who doesn't love a Chick-fil-A sandwich after a ball game? 2-1 pitch, fouled back. Count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Folks, we got 131 watching on YouTube, and we got 18 on Facebook for a total of 149. Now, Eddie, to be fair, there's probably a couple people watching on both. I'm included. I have an iPad on YouTube, and I have my phone on Facebook, so you could take one out. But you know, like you say, there's probably a couple of people watching per. Line down the third base line, Josh Carman doesn't move. He's really close to the fair line. Way out of that coach's box down there. That count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just like in your house, Eddie, there's not just you watching. I'm sure Jill's tuned to that big 72-inch projector screen in your man cave. 2-2 pitches outside. Nice Gumby arm there by Caleb Warren. Jake Merrick reached on an error, and Trace Simmons walked. First 2 on base, nobody out. Sabo trying to get a ground ball to an infielder. Charlie Bozeman trying to knock in another run for Full Count. Full Count Ministries, Full Count to the Samford Bulldog, and he walks as well. The bases are juiced, and hey, this has happened before. Blake Carter's come to the plate with the bases loaded before, but I don't have a yard card. Who's got a yard card out there? Cass? What about Reese Snapka? Does he have a yard card?
Now batting first baseman, number 4, Blake.
Cassidy, if you're listening, chime in and say yard card on Blake Carter. Do it now. Carter looks at a pitch high and outside, and Caleb Warren's tired of reaching up and outside 4 pitches. He's going to go out and give himself a rest. Talk to Wade Sabo, the left-hander. Inning in 2/3 the other night against the Paducah Chiefs in the start. Southeastern Illinois Community College. Not sure if his time is up over there or not. Maybe a 2-year guy. Utility player, it says. Says he. Let's see if he's got any at-bats this year for the Rotors. Who did? Pat Elliott. She wants a Chick-fil-A meal. She says yard card for Blake Carter. Wade Sabo, 7 games, 22 plate appearances. No yard card, bad call. Popped up to the right side. Jacob Lott over the right fielder. Comes on and makes the catch. Throw to the plate. It keeps the runner at third. And Blake Carter is out number 1. So he's 0 for 2 with the bases loaded. Last time grounded back to the pitcher, Xander Smith, who threw to home.
Center fielder number 11, Nolan Sargent.
Good job, Cass, not calling your yard card. Jay Myers still has a yard card. Hey, I'll tell you who's got a yard card is Todd Hunley.
Grand Slam.
Nolan Sargent at the plate. If you've been with me this year, you heard me talk about grand slams. Rhythm do not have a grand slam. They've had a grand slam in every year to this point. Actually, multiple grand slams. That pitch is down in the dirt. It's not dirt. It's artificial turf. 1 out, bases juiced. Nolan Sargent 2 for 3 in the ball game. Couple of RBIs. Take a hack. Nolan Sargent comes up empty on another big 2-0 swing. Rhythm had 3 grand slams in 2021. One of them was a walk-off on a mercy rule game against the Fulton Railroaders. Ground ball to second base. Let's see if they try for 2. And they do, but they don't get it, and the run scores. No RBI to Sargent, but Reinhardt went to second. I didn't think you got an RBI. Oh, you do, if it's a double play. That's right. My bad. Ken Stegall, he's listening to the broadcast, 3 people away. So a fielder's choice, the 3rd RBI for Sargent. Now scores Merrick. That's an unearned run. Trace Simmons goes down to 3rd. Bozeman retired on the 4-6 for out number 2. And now Staborski comes to the plate. He's 0 for 3. 2 outs, 2 on, 1 in. 1 run is in. 8-2 is the score. Staborski with another big hack there. Matthew Batts had 2 of the grand slams in 2021. Carlos Lara with 1 that walked it off against the Fulton Railroaders in a regular season game. 2022, there were 3 more grand slams. That pitch is high. Drew Robertson, Hayden Miller, Hudson Mims. Hudson Mims was in round 2, game 1 of the playoffs, an 11-5 win over Hoptown. Pitch misses outside, 3 balls and a strike. Say that again, Ken? Yes, that's correct. 2 grand slams in 2023. They were both by Cooper Holbrook. 3-1 pitch, and we're going to have another chance at a grand slam as Parker Staborski draws the 3rd walk of the inning. And now the winning run comes to the plate. Elijah Stockton, probably not the best bet for a home run. Lefty on lefty matchup. Elijah had 1, I believe, with the Kentucky Wesleyan Panthers this past year. Steps up with the bases loaded. Looks at a pitch high. He's 1 for 4 in the game. The mercy rule is in effect in the playoffs. There's a breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Last year in the Prospect League, as that's fouled at the plate. Rhythm had one grand slam. Jacob Tobias, just a little over a year ago, hit a grand slam in a 13-6 loss to the O'Fallon Hoots. So what is that, 10 grand slams? Stockton has to move his body away from that inside pitch. Count moves to 2-2 strikes. Not a hit in the inning. An error and 3 walks. Produced a run, an unearned run. Fouled off the screen. See Mike Kelly out here in the stands. He's the one half of the host home of John Paul Head, who's on deck, who would be a really good pick if he gets up in this inning for a yard card. Jay Myers says yard card on stock. And a swing and a miss ends the inning. I just saw it, Jay. Wah, 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 wah. Elijah Stockton strikes out to end the 7th. That's his second time to go down on strikes. The first strikeout for Wade Sabo, who gets out of further damage. Does allow 1 run. It was unearned, no hits, 1 big error, and 3 runners left aboard. We are headed to the top of the 8th. Fulton Railroaders will send 2, 3, and 4 to the plate
They're still
to face Peyton Vaught. We'll be right back.
Escape to a taste of the tropics with Frosted Luau, Hendersonville's favorite soft serve ice cream truck. Indulge in our creamy delights with options for everyone, including dairy-free and vegan treats. Planning a corporate event or a birthday bash? Let Frosted Luau cater to your sweet cravings. Visit frostedluau.com, follow us on Instagram at Frosted Luau, or call 615-422-6133 to book your luau today. Frosted Luau, where every cup is a vacation.
United Machine and Tool has been manufacturing the highest quality projects for a wide variety of industries for over 35 years. We deliver high-quality CNC machine components and fabrication projects from prototype to production. United Machine and Tool is committed to quality and excellence in the manufacturing industry. We're located in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. Check us out on the web at umttn.com for any manufacturing need. That's United Machine and Tool, a proud sponsor of the Full Count Rhythm.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Jacob Lott to lead off to face Peyton Vaught out for his second inning. I would anticipate if Peyton gets through this inning without too much trouble, he may just go ahead and finish it up. Earn a 3-inning save. Of course, Ryan Sweeney is the relief pitcher of choice for Josh Carman to finish a tight game. But if Sweeney came into the game in the 9th with the score the way it is now, he would not be credited with a save. Lott 2 for 3 in this game.
Jacob Lott.
At least his 7th multi-hit game of the year. See if he's had some in the playoffs. He has not. Grounds the first pitch foul to the on-deck circle. He's had 1 hit in every game since the 16th. 1 hit in the other day's game. Got 2 tonight. Takes a called strike and is down the count 0-2. From Holmes Community College, Jacob Lott, South Haven, Mississippi. That's where he calls home. 5'11", 190-pound junior. Takes the same pitch, called for a strike on an 0-2, look like, for ball 1. Lott, Sossman, and Hurt scheduled to face Peyton Vaught. V as in Victor, A-U-G-H-T. In case you're not familiar, Tapper foul as That caught a piece of Trace Simmons, unless he's got a Charlie horse. I thought he and the home plate umpire were fixing to wrestle. I didn't know what was happening. He come out of there like he was in a wrestling move, and home plate umpire Dave Upright kind of stumbled a little bit as well as Josh Carmen. And there's Johnny B. Smithson making his first appearance out on the field. Attaboy 4-2. I see you. The only time he's wearing a uniform like that is when he's getting in a ball game down in Nicaragua. What do you think about that, Heidel and Alex Montiel, David? Forget about Simmons. Let's just keep watching Johnny B. Smithson, the director of ministry for the Full Count Ministries. One of the original members. Looks like Simmons is going to be able to continue. He's been nicked up a little bit this year. Count will remain 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jacob Lott. 5 home runs on the season for Lott. Just a bit outside, tried to catch the corner and missed. That's another one, Eddie. You need to work that one into your repertoire. That's one of those French words. Do y do. Tapper foul. That was Spanish for 2-2 is the count. What was that, Ken? Do-si-do. Yeah, it's do-si-dos. Down in Nicaragua, I think they just kind of shorten. They take that S off of the dose, and they just call it do-y-do. 2-2. Grounded 2 short. McCarron stays down. And his throw to Blake Carter is right on time for a 6-3 put out. We're out number 1. The Rotors down to their last 5 outs. Full Count Rhythm's all-time playoff record, 18-3. So they're going to try to get their 19th tonight. Finish it off tomorrow with their 20th. They are 2-0 against the Fulton Railroaders all-time in the playoffs. They're 22-5 against the Railroaders all-time. 6-1 this year in the 7 games they played. Vaught tries to step on a fastball to Sossman and misses low and inside. Sossman 0 for 3. He's grounded into 2 Dudette double plays. Not going to happen in this at-bat. He's going to line a single out to left center field. Sossman now 1 for 4. I got them with 9 hits now.
Now batting left field, number
9 hits for the Railroaders. Ellis Hurt's got 2 of them. He also has an RBI. The now former Trevecca Trojan. 2 for 3 in this ball game. Vaught misses with the slider low and away. Hurt playing in his 14th game with the Rotors. As I said, he played with the Henderson Flash the last 2 years. Won a championship against these Rotors a year ago. 2 years ago, lost the championship against the Full Count Rhythm. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was 2 years ago. 2023. Where has the time gone? Hurt now with 17 hits on the season. 3 doubles, a home run. Picked up his 9th RBI. Rhythm looking for a ground ball to a middle infielder here. Calling in the prescription is Peyton Vaught. That fouled off, I think, our home plate umpire. Hurt looked back. He knew that it caught somebody behind the plate. Probably the context clue that he used was probably. Jay Myers said he wanted a mulligan. Can't get a mulligan. It's tomorrow night. You get another yard card tomorrow. It didn't cost you anything tonight. Swinging and miss on a pitch down in the artificial turf, stabbed by Trace Simmons, and that's a Safeware strikeout. First of the night for Peyton Vaught.
Now batting first baseman number 7.
They'll face Chris Henson, who doubled to left center, drove in a run in the 6th. Vanessa Dorn. DeHorn. There's an H in there. D-O-H-R-N. DeHorn. But they, for some reason, do not pronounce it. It's just Dorn. Breaking pitch missed a little bit up. Two big sisters to James. He's one of the riffraff running around here. 1-0 pitch at the knees for a called strike. Still got any Rotors fans on this broadcast? I bet there's a few still out there. There might even be some Miners fans, some Paducah Chiefs fans. Hoppus. What about the Flash? They might be listening in. 1-1 pitch inside. I know a couple nights ago there were several of the Miners that were chiming in on the broadcast. Of course, Full Count Rhythm players were watching. That's a game. The Chiefs were up 6-0 early. Breaking pitch just missed inside. That had a sharp break to it. Chiefs 6-0, and the Rotors just kept chipping away. Up at Brooks Stadium, 26 runs scored. There wasn't one ball that left the yard as that pitch gets to the backstop for ball 4. And 2 runners now on with 2 outs. First walk of the game by Vaught. This inning right here, as he faces his 5th batter, Jaden Perez, this might preclude him from pitching the 9th, but we'll see. Jaden Perez trying to keep the inning going for the Rotors. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. A Miami native. Paducah up 6-0 after 3. Fulton scored 4 in the top of the 4th and then 2 in the top of the 6th to tie the game. And then the Chiefs and the Rotors just played back and forth, a little seesaw ball game. Vaught now misses 2-0. Then got to extra frames as we're going to have a timeout. Josh Carman out as he is basically taking the visits to the mound away from Jimmy Gambeau, the pitching coach. I assume Jimmy's here. I thought I saw him. Maybe he's not here. Maybe that's why John Smith is in uniform. Didn't get that message if he's not, so have not seen Jimmy come out of the dugout. Carmen having a confab with Peyton Vaught, saying, "Hey, son, let's get out of this inning, okay? We'll see about the 9th. Let's just get out of this inning. Throw me a strike." Carmen, the former high school coach at Beach High School. I think started coaching in what was then called JP2, now Pope Prep, Pope John Paul II. Grew up in a household of a college baseball coach, Kenny and Judy Thomas. KT now coach for the Williamsport Crosscutters in the MLB draft. leagues. That pitch is lifted out to left field. Charlie Bozeman over toward the fair line and gets under it and makes the catch for the final out. Great meeting there by Josh Carmen. As first pitch that Vaught delivers after the meeting is popped out to left field. No runs, one hit, no errors, 2 runners left on base. We are headed to the bottom of the 8th. Rhythm with 4 can walk it off. You're listening to the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Feeling tight, stiff, and not quite yourself? Then it might be time to go see the professionals at Absolute Wellness. Located at 101 Tennessee Way, Suite 100 here in Hendersonville, Absolute Wellness can get you back on track with their numerous services like chiropractic care, massage, acupuncture, spinal decompression. Call Absolute Wellness at 615-264-8515 today to get in on some great offers. That's Absolute Wellness. Your road to absolute wellness starts here. We all think about our home's yards, gutters, floors, and so much more. When was the last time you thought about your sprinkler system? That's where Music City Fire Sprinkler steps in. It may shock you that in-home sprinkler systems are discreet and affordable. Let the experts at Music City Fire Sprinkler tell you for themselves. Give them a call at 615-826-7450 or check them out on the web at mcfs.us. That's Music City Fire Sprinkler, proud sponsor of the Full Count Rhythm.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Our man on the street, Stephen Ardito, with the intel. Thanks for the 411. Says that Jimmy Gamboa had to go back to Emory and Henry, his school where he earns a living. Apparently had a coaches meeting this weekend, so I'm assuming he's done. Our coaches are leaving us. Carson Howard on vacay. Jonas Smithson with a death not in the family, but his girlfriend's family. Young father gone to see the Lord. And so John Smithson helping out head coach and general manager Josh Carmen. John Paul Head comes to the plate, and if anybody had a yard card, now be a good time to play it. I don't know where Todd Hunley is. Where are you, Todd? Foul ball off to the right side. AAA Autoglass. Foul ball, but they're not just Autoglass. If that broke some shower glass, they're all over it. They do work in Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, Alabama, North and South Carolina, Florida, New York, Texas, and Louisiana. 1-1 pitch, misses outside. Thanks to Dylan Doris and the Doris family for their support of Full Count Ministries and Full Count Rhythm baseball. 9 home runs tied Hayden Jones for the lead. John Paul looks at a breaking pitch and then leans his head back like, you got to be kidding me. At 2-2 strikeout. Pat Elliott had a yard card for Brent. Well, Brent doesn't have a Facebook account. Brent says yard card. Fouled back. That's going to catch our home plate umpire. Is going to take a little time and walk back. Brett Pat Elliott, I believe, are here at the ballpark. Listening in. Looks like Mr. Upright is upright. He's okay. 2-2 pitch coming to John Paul Head. It's outside. Head's already drawn a 38th walk on the year. Came in with 60 hits, picked up his 61st hit. He was not only the Cub Stokes Award winner, he led a lot of offensive categories and draws the walk. So Brent Elliott retains his yard card. with the walk. That's the third time that John Paul's been on base. He can be a patient hitter.
Number 15, Devin.
That's the fourth walk of the game by Wade Sabo. Second pitcher for the Rhythm. Rhythm trying to get some Zach Williams Insurance Agency runs here. Devin McCarron at the plate. Any takers for the yard card for... Oh, Steven Ardito, you still have your yard card. Yeah, but JP walks, so you retain your yard card. So does Brent Elliott. Any takers for Devin McCarron, who has a 2-ball, no strike count? If you win at the yard card game, you get a free meal. We'll give you the email address to send email to Todd Hundley at Chick-fil-A Rivergate. He'll mail you a Chick-fil-A meal card. Swing and a miss by McCarron. Devin's 1 for 3. We don't designate the yard card winner. You do. 2-1. That's lined out to right field. That's going to get down. John Paul's going to check up at second base. 2 are on here in the bottom of the 8th. Second hit of the ball game for McCarron, who extended his hitting streak to 8 games with a double in the 6th. And Jake Merritt comes to the plate. He can hit a home run. Pat Elliott went yard card riding for Brent for Devin, so he loses his yard card. But Steven Ardito still has one. Wilson's going to have to learn when he sends me a text. He needs to get on Facebook. My son called yard card back 4 minutes ago, but he didn't tell me who it was for. Dub, I need to know who your yard card's for. Because if it was for John Paul, you still have one. If it was for Devin, then you lost it. Merrick doubled and scored in the first. He's walked a couple of times, reached on an error as that pitch just misses outside. Okay, so Dub still has his yard card for JP. Is he letting it ride on Jake Merrick? Is he going to wait for Trace Simmons or Charlie Bozeman? Charlie's been a winner for 2 others before the yard card game started, but Wade Sabo having trouble throwing strikes to the UAB Blazer Jake Merrick from Knoxville's Farragut High School, the son of Jim and Angie Merrick. Pam Roach, his grandma, is here. Pops this one up on the right side. Will the catcher have a play? Hits right by Paul. A.J. Armstrong's grandfather and his dad, Jack, sitting right on the other side of the screen in a Full Count Ministries full count. Merrick stays alive. Grandpa in Naperville, Grandma in Hastings, Michigan. Pappy and Mimi, they're here at the ballpark from Rockwood, Tennessee. Pam Roach came up to the press box to say howdy do. Full count pitch. That misses down. And the bases are jammed. Now the winning run, Trace Simmons, could walk us off with the first grand slam of the year for Full Count.
Trace Simmons.
So if you, Steven, you do have a yard card. See if we got any takers for Trace Simmons, who's got 3 big flies on the year. 23 RBIs coming into the game. He now has 25. Takes a pitch down. 10 home runs here. They're hit here at DC3, 9 of them by full count batters. The only visitor to hit a home run was Jordan Carter, and I believe that was in their last game here. That was on July 10th in the regular season. 2-0 pitch, check swing, pulls the bat back, and the pitch called ball 3. Now Simmons ahead in the count, 3-0. Suzanne Hall, she's waiting for her yard card for Charlie Bozeman, who is on deck. May not get to him, Suzanne. May not get to him. Trace goes yard right here. 3-0. Let's see if he's hacking. He's not. And he draws the walk. Don't hit that. Don't hit that. There you go. You've learned that, haven't you, Suze? 6th walk of the game by Sabo, and J.D. Willis, the head coach, will come out of the dugout. I don't know if I have not looked down to the bullpen to see if anybody's been warming up, but I don't think there was. Nobody's coming from down that way, so this might just be a breather visit. Being down now, 7 runs going to the top of the 9th. Don't know that you'd want to burn another pitcher, as you hope that there's 2 more games. And with the first round series going to 3 games for the Railroaders, and they had to play in a play-in game, that eats up some pitching. Play-in game with the Madisonville Miners. See how many pitchers they threw in that game. 4 pitchers in that game. That was 6 days ago, and now Suzanne Hall's got the yard card for Charlie Bozeman, who could walk it off. Pops that one back this way. AAA Autoglass foul balls. He took a home run cut. Pam Roach also saying yard card for Charlie Bozeman. They're in the stands right behind home plate. They must have saw Charlie flexing. Tell you what, he takes his shirt off. He's a pretty impressive upper body. As an old man now, I have chest envy for these young guys. I don't know that I even ever had a chest that looked like that. Even at 175, popped up and out of play. Sabo gets ahead of Bozeman. He's 2 for 2. He's been on base all 4 times he's come to the plate. We had 1 walk-off grand slam in Rhythm history. That was in a Mercy Rule game. We've also had a walk-off home run to win a championship. That was Harrison Travis. As that pitch gets in the dirt, it won't be a walk-off grand slam as it skirts away from Caleb Warren, and another run comes in on a wild pitch. Runners move up to 2nd and 3rd. Simmons out there chit-chatting with second base and third base. Merrick now down at 3rd. Spicy chicken sandwich for me, Austin. I am a spicy chicken sandwich guy. As Austin Cavender delivering the after game meal. Bozeman takes a hack, but comes up empty as that count went quickly. So Pam Roach and Suzanne Hall lose their yard cards. And that's the first out of the inning. Second strikeout by Sabo. And now who wants to ride the Blake Carter yard card as the winning runs at second base? He doesn't need a yard card to walk it off as the infield's playing in with 1 out. Riffraff now below the press box, getting on our crowd mic. 1 ball, 1 strike. John Paul Heads hit 3 home runs here at DC3. Bozeman and Trace Simmons have hit a pair. As I said, Jordan Carter with the Hoptown Hoppers, the only one from the opposition that hit a home run at DC3. The least amount of home runs was hit at Brooks Stadium in Paducah. I think they only had 7 home runs all year long, and 5 of those were from visitors, and Charlie Bozeman was one of them. That's lined out to left center field. This is going to end the ball game. It's going to go to the first bank sign, and Blake Carter has just walked us off. Blake Carter, a 2-run double, has ended the ball game. This one belongs to the Rhythm as the final score is 12-2. Had some help here in the bottom of the 8th with walks and wild pitch, but it took a double by Blake Carter, his first hit of the ball game, to drive in Jake Merrick and Trace Simmons. The walk-off winner. Game 1 of the championship series goes to Full Count. Game 2 will be tomorrow at Fulton at Low House Field, 6:30. We'll carry it right here on the Full Count Broadcast Network. Eddie Crittenden will carry it for the Roaders fans on their Fulton Railroaders Facebook page, and I'm sure he'll make sure that he has plenty of juice. And your Chick-fil-A of Rivergate player of the game is, let's see, hard to not say Blake Carter, who walks it off, but Trace Simmons with a couple of hits, 3 RBIs. Jake Merrick on base all 5 times, 3 walks. Charlie Bozeman had 3 RBIs and 2 hits. And let's look at the pitchers. Tate Riggs, 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run. He gets the win, moves to 1-1 on the season. Who are we going to go with here? I'm going to go with Trace Simmons. Trace Simmons, 3 RBIs, a triple, scored 3 runs. He was 2 for 3 in the game. Trace Simmons is your Chick-fil-A of Rivergate player of the game. Losing pitcher Xander Smith, he falls to 1-1. And does Vaught will not get a save because it did not go 3. So he gets 2 innings, so no save in the ball game as this game goes 2 hours and 35 minutes for Full Count Rhythm to pick up their 28th victory of the season, and now 1 win away from their 3rd championship to tie the Fulton Railroaders, the Hoptown Hoppers, and the DuBois County Bombers. I think Hoptown, yes, they do, with 3. Well, I'm sorry, Fulton has 2, Hoptown has 2, DuBois County, the only team with 3. And let's get to our Full Count Ministries verse of the game. And it is found in Colossians chapter 2, verse 6 through 7 says, "So then, just as you received Christ Jesus as Lord, continue to live your lives in him, rooted and built up in him, strengthened in the faith as you were taught, and overflowing with thankfulness." Colossians 2, verses 6 through 7 are the Full Count Ministries verses of the game. And we have a final here at DC3 in 8 innings. Full Count with a 12-2 victory. 2 runs, 9 hits for Fulton. They had 1 error. And the Rhythm with 12 runs. Did she count that 12th hit? That's what, or 1, 2, 9, 10, 11, 12 hits. Ava, good job, 12 hits and 1 error. Again, winning pitcher Tate Riggs, 1-1. Losing pitcher Xander Smith, he falls to 1-1. We'll be up at Fulton on the Anchor Transportation bus driven by Stephen Ardito tomorrow afternoon after get a good morning in at church. Hopefully you'll have an opportunity to attend your favorite church as well tomorrow. And I guess that'll do it. Suze, you got anything for the good of the group? Nothing? She's ready to go to the house. Ken Stegall, you ready to go to the house? He's ready to go to the house. Ken, this might be the last game of the season here for the rhythm section. So good working with you again all year long. One of the owners of the Scorers Table, Tim Ferguson, in his first year as the public address announcer. And the Rhythm are hoping we're not back at DC3 on Monday night. Of course, the Roaders, they've been down before. They have been on this road before. So it'll be a tough game up at Fulton. It'll be good to see Eddie and the crew, and hopefully the Roaders and the Rhythm will pack Low House Field. I heard that the first 200 general admission get in free at Low House Field. Maybe 100 of them will be Full Count Rhythm fans. You think they'll let us in? They'll let the Rhythm fans be part of that? Yes, they will. Yes, they will. They're good, fine folk up there. So Tim Ferguson, drive on up. Well, that'll do it. Full Count walks it off with a double by Blake Carter to end this ball game in the bottom of the 8th. Rhythm win 12-2. Thanks for watching on Facebook and on YouTube tonight. Thanks for those of you that played the yard card game all night long. And for your posts, Pat Elliott says, way to go, Rhythm. Paula Sims, of course, she's a frequent flyer here on Facebook. She says, great job, guys. Eddie Crittenden, we'll see you tomorrow, bud. Thanks for your friendship and for your love of Ohio Valley League baseball. For John Smithson, who is in uniform tonight, the Director of Ministry for Full Count Ministry, and Head Coach and General Manager Josh Carman, and for my lovely wife, Susan Reese, that appreciate her helping me out. Susan, this might be the last time that I see you on a Full Count Rhythm broadcast as well. But I'll see you at home later, and we'll go to church together tomorrow. And then I'll see you, Lord willing, tomorrow night again at the house. So for all those people, this is Tim Reese saying God bless you. Thank you for watching another exciting edition of Full Count Rhythm Baseball right here on the Full Count Broadcast Network. God bless you, everybody.
This has been another Full Count Rhythm Baseball game presented by Full Count Ministries and Chick-fil-A of Rivergate. We'll see you next time right here on the Full Count Broadcast Network.